Did you want that to happen the way it did, losing the titles, having everything go? Did all that go according to Dax Harwood plan?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I thought about this finish since 2016. This is, I felt that I knew we were going to leave WWE after the main roster run. So I had been thinking about this match since 2016, but I knew come 2018, I knew we weren't going to stay with WWE after our contracts were over. And so I'd been fantasizing about the match, and I wanted to make the greatest ever. And in my mind, like I've done probably to the detriment of our careers, I've always pitched for us to lose a lot. And when putting this match together back in 2016, 17, 18, whatever, in my head, in my mind, it was just, we were going to lose. We were the heels, and we were going to lose. And my idea was we were going to hit them with some of our signature things. It wasn't going to work. And then it was like, fuck it. We've tried everything. And they're still beating us to the punch. We gotta get on their level, and that's how we're going to beat him. And so Cash tries this beautiful 450, which I've seen him hit before on the Indies. Missed it. Boom. Right into us. Just one single super kick. Bam. Cover 1, 2, 3. So it was a beautiful, and so in my mind, all we had to do was come out the next week on TV and say, we had a lapse in judgment. That was our fault. We tried to play their game and we lost. That'll never happen again. When we come back, it's our game and we're going to play by our rules. And so that was my thinking going forward. Just never materialized that way. We never had another rematch for another year and a half. But that was my plan, my idea, and that's where I thought it was going. But things didn't work out that way.
Talk about the match a little bit more. What are some of your favorite things about the match itself?
I loved that everything was given its own moment. I loved that after a moment happened, we stopped and we settled down. That's what I think is missing sometimes in wrestling today, is a lot of guys don't stop because, like I told you earlier, we were talking about earlier, when there's a lull in crowd noise, the wrestlers panic. And they're like, oh my God, we're losing them. You're not losing them. They're paying attention. They're processing. You'll know when you lose them. And that's when they don't make noise at all through anything. But we stopped after every moment. Like there was a beautiful false finish where they hit us with the 3D, boom, followed by the twist of fate and the swanton, bam, 1, 2, kick out. People thought that was the finish. It was the 1, 2, 3. Oh no, they thought that was the finish because how we had built it up using our favorite wrestlers, our favorite tag teams finishers. And but then after they hit that, we stopped and we settled down. Right. And then we started retelling our story. We went back to the next layer of the story. And there was another time where a lot of action was happening where I think Cash might have stopped Matt. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, Cash was the illegal guy. Matt was the legal guy. And then Nick came in for the saved his brother, knocked Cash out of the ring, went to, did a deal where he went to the floor and backflipped or something onto Cash. He comes up and springboards onto me where I catch him. I think this is the first time I hit the slingshot power bomb. Boom. And right from there, I had Matt give me the crucifix pin, 1, 2, almost a 3.
Fans bought that one too.
They thought that was it. And I was very proud of that moment. I loved the callback to the DIY finish. I don't think the fans necessarily thought that was the finish, but that's okay. I wanted them to think and understand we were reaching back into our back pocket, of our brain to our biggest rival previous to these guys and pulling out this finish from them to hopefully hit it because those guys had, beat us before with that finish. And that was my idea there for that finish. And I love the reaction off of that. I love the double sharpshooters where Cash and I were holding hands, but Matt couldn't hold on to it because of his ankle. I think more than anything, dude, more than any of the false finishes, the storytelling was amazing, I thought. And God, people are going to say, oh God, he's putting himself over. But I'm saying this as a fan. I thought the storytelling was told so beautifully. But above everything, above all of it, I loved the selling. From everybody, every single person in that match. I loved the selling. I loved how confident everybody is in their abilities, but they did not, no one, myself, Cash, or the Bucks, never forgot the most important part of the match is the selling. And my pride probably doesn't want to admit it, and my ego definitely doesn't want to admit it, but those boys are fucking good. They're fucking good, dude. I know you and some of the fans maybe think, oh, he's kissing their ass. If there's one person on the face of this earth that you can say will not kiss their ass, it's me, because I've said a lot of things before that would be the complete opposite of kissing their ass. I've made it known when I haven't been happy. I've made it known when I felt that some people were probably trying to take a shit on our legacy. I can't lie. These guys are in the ring incredible. There's a certain section of the fans that say that they don't know how to sell. And I dare you to go back and watch this match and say that, because those two are incredible. The way Matt sold through the whole match, that's, to me, it gets overused, and I hate even saying it, but that's art to me, how much he sold and how well he sold.
I mean, a Nick Jackson hot tag is something else. Like, it was
on fire.
Right? Hey, but the selling thing, it's a very double-edged sword. It's a quadruple-edged sword when you say this name. But Jim Cornette criticized a little bit of this match, saying that Matt Jackson wasn't selling the leg as much, the ankle. It seemed like sometimes it was fine, sometimes it's not. But you, on the other hand, are saying that his selling was great. Do you feel he sold the ankle well enough, or is that not even important at all?
I think he sold it incredible. I think he sold it perfectly. And I say that because I've talked to Austin before, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You may have heard of him. I've talked to him before about. He did okay for himself. I've talked to him before about the art of selling, and he said that, if you watch him and Brett from WrestleMania 13, there was a time when adrenaline hit and he was beating the shit out of Brett, and he didn't grab his knee and oversell it. He said, if you oversell it, that's when people think to themselves, oh, he's selling. And you never want that. You never want people to say during the course of the match, during the meat of a match, you never want people to say he's a great seller. Maybe if you look back on it and say Ricky Morton's a great seller, that's fine. But in the heat of the moment, in the Midnight Express's heat, you don't want them to say, look at this, he's a great seller. You want them to sympathize and feel with him. So there were times where, if you watch WrestleMania 13, that's the example Austin used to me. There were times where he stopped, quote unquote, stopped selling the leg because he had a burst of adrenaline and he was going to town. He said, but then after that adrenaline, quote unquote, wore off, then he'd go back to selling. And that's what I thought Matt did perfectly. And again, it kind of breaks my ego's heart to say that, because I want to say that we're the greatest tag team, and I want to say that nobody even is on close to us, but those boys are fucking good, dude.